Shalom Yasharallah. Kal Halal Abba Hayahaya Yahawah Bahashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. Barakatha Ruach HaKadesh. Ama Yahawashi. I'm King Obadiah, bringing to the 12 Israelite tribes the truth of Yahawah Yahawashi. Yahawah Yahawashi's $288 billion blessing to Israelite kings and queens. The Father and his Son's earthly blessing to his 288,000 elect is $288 billion each. Blessed to Yahawah Yahawashi's 288K elect by December the 31st, 2019 by the Most High Yahawah and Yahawashi. $144 billion is given by Yahawah, and $144 billion is given by Yahawashi. The previous $288 million blessing is multiplied 1,000 times to $288 billion by Yahawah Yahawashi. Yahawah Yahawashi's instructions are: consider setting up an unincorporated private business trust, not in your name, where lawyers, the IRS, states, and government cannot get to your assets, which means, if done correctly, an unincorporated private business trust will protect your assets from lawyers, the IRS, states, and government.
Unincorporated Business Trust, or UBOT. What is an unincorporated business trust and what are its advantages? UBOT is an organization created and managed by trustees for the benefit and profit of beneficiaries who hold or may acquire transferable trust certificates. Trust certificates provide individual holders evidence of interest in the trust estate or the assets and income. A UBOT is a powerful entity by which individuals may combine their resources to operate a business for profit without the inherited liabilities of a partnership or the double taxation of corporations. A UBOT can preserve privacy, protect assets against judgments and lawsuits, and also liens. UBOT is often called a common law trust, but this phrase is not descriptive of any of the particular characteristics of such organizations. The basis for the terminology common law trust is that they are created under the common law of contracts and does not depend upon any statute for its existence. See the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1. UBOTs are brought into existence by being two basic documents: a declaration of trust and a trust indenture. These two documents make all the provisions of who is who and who is responsible for what relative to the trust activities. A UBOT is a great way to avoid tax liability of a business or trust transactions until money or assets are distributed to the beneficiaries. Since the trust indenture is a contract between the creator and the trustee, the indenture controls the activities, powers, and responsibilities of those who administer the trust. No one has legal authority to change its provisions except those so authorized by the indenture. And I also want to add, when you do set up your organization or corporation, you set up as a LLC because this is limited liability as well. When creating your unincorporated business trust, the creator establishes and brings into existence the trust, which is created with the trust indenture and a declaration of trust. The creator can be you, or it can also be a third party such as an attorney or donkalam.com. When the trust is created, it creates the trustee who will hold copies of the trust, and they act on behalf of the beneficiaries who will hold copies of the trust and also hold trust certificates. These certificates can be used from the trust to be given to the exchanger. It only comes into play after the initial creation of the trust and if they have property or such as anything of value, of liquid value or any of the assets, and they accept additional property into the trust as the exchanger, such as a bank. But you can also do this yourself if you truly know what you're doing, because you truly are bankers. Parties and roles of the UBT. How many people at the minimum do I need to create a trust, and what are the roles? So you need a creator. That's the person whom a grant is made. A transfer of property, the creator of a trust is usually designed as the grantor of the trust. Now, trustees. A person or one of the group of persons appointed to manage the affairs of an individual, institution, business, a person who holds property in trust for another. The beneficiaries. One who benefits from acts of another, one whose benefit a trust exists, a person who receives or is named to receive money or property from a trust. The exchanger. Whenever you or another party want to transfer any property into the trust organization in exchange for certificates, you take on the role of an exchanger. Go over these definitions in your free time. They're very important to know exactly the roles of the trust. Now to the good stuff. The benefits of having an unincorporated business trust. What are the benefits and drawbacks of a UBOT? The benefits of a UBOT are privacy, limited liability, not subject to probate, no state or inherited taxes, it minimizes and or avoids income tax, it maximizes depreciation, it reduces capital gains tax, and it's separate investment program. The drawbacks of a UBRT are when you create a revocable trust which subjects the trust to all the opposite benefits stated above. Property put into an irrevocable trust is just that, irrevocable, no takebacks. The benefit outweigh any drawbacks to establishing a UBOT. 9 basic aspects of the UBOT. A UBOT is formed by contract between the parties setting forth the purpose, terms, and conditions. A UBOT is a legal entity and an artificial individual with rights almost equal to a natural person or a human being, able to own property and conduct business like a natural person. It is irrevocable and no one has any revisionary rights to its assets. The UBOT's assets are owned and its business activities managed by the trustee, who accepts such responsibility as fiduciaries on behalf of the beneficiaries. The beneficiary interests are divided into capital units, evidenced by the issuance of trust certificates, conveying to the holder the limited rights to receive the prorate share of any distributions of income or assets that may be made by the trustee. The capital units are personal property which conveys neither legal title to the property nor any voice in the management of the business or the selection of trustees. A UBOT is subject to taxation on its distributable net income. The beneficiaries are only taxed when they receive. The assets of a UBOT are never subject to probate or estate tax because, as an artificial person, it never dies. The capital unit becomes void upon the death of the holder and thus have no value to be subject to estate tax or probate. The life of a UBOT can be extended as deemed advisable or terminated at any time by the trustees in accordance with the trust indenture or the contract. Statutory trust versus common law trust. A statutory trust is a legislative created and regulated entity. Statutory trusts derive their existence from and is governed and regulated by statutes by which it must conform. Constitutional trusts are derived from constitution in the form of contract. The right of contract is derived from the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, which states, "No state shall pass any bill of attainder ex post facto law or law impairing the obligation of contracts." Ex post facto law is defined as done or made afterward from the things done afterward. Constitutional trusts are created and operate under the law of contract established through the United States Constitution. The essential element of the law of contract are absent in the creation of statutory trusts, but are present in the creation of constitutional trusts. The essential elements are 2 or more parties at arm's length, not blood related, an offer by one of the parties and acceptance by the other party, consideration in the form of money or money's value, all conformed, tied together by a meeting of the minds or the understanding of the 2 involved parties. Contract is signed willingly by both parties. Basic comparisons between statutory and constitutional trusts are varied. Some are displayed in these charts. Here are some court cases regarding trust. Once you have your trust established and you create your corporation, then you can begin to build business credit on it that's not linked to your SSN. Also, there's different ways to go about conveying property and assets into the trust. We help you and with a lot more than this at donkalam.com. You can go to donkilam.com. But to get free PDFs to start raising your conscious level to these things to get in front of your face, just make sure you go to donkalam.com. Much peace and love, much peace and love, much peace and love. And always remember, prosperity is your birthright.
Do not let Satan tempt you to evil. And I can't say this enough. Bank black. Don't trust European Caucasoid banks with your money. Proverbs 10:22. The blessing of the Most High Yahawah and Hamashiach Yahawashi. He makes rich and wealthy and prosperous and adds no sorrow with it. Proverbs 11:24. One gives freely and grows all the more richer and wealthier and prosperous. Another is stingy with what he should give and grows all the more poorer to lose everything. Proverbs 11:25. The generous soul shall be made rich, wealthy, and prosperous, and he that blesses others shall be also blessed himself. All praise, honor, and glory, power, dominion, rule, and might to the Most High Yahawah and Hamashiach Yahawashi for their triple-digit, multi-billion-dollar blessing and blessings to our Holy Spirit Mother, Queen Jerusalem. Kam Yasharallah, Shalom, Israelite.